and in this video we're going to discuss some strategies or visualizations for proper execution of a Kegel exercise. So for those of you who don't know, a Kegel is an exercise used to help strengthen the integrity of the pelvic floor. And in most cases, I would say probably 90% of people typically do a Kegel exercise incorrectly. When I teach Kegels, I like to use a series of different visualizations because oftentimes people can't necessarily perceive the quality of the contraction. So I'm going to share those with you today. The easiest way to perform a Kegel is by lying on your back with your knees bent and your feet flat on the surface. This is called the hook lying position. What this does is it takes the effects of gravity against your organs as they're resting on the pelvic floor. When your pelvic floor contracts, it's actually strength training against the weight of your organs. When you take your body and you lay flat, that actually reduces the amount of stress or weight that's lying against your pelvic floor, and it allows your pelvic floor to activate without that additional weight. So early on, when I teach my clients Kegels, I instruct them to start in the laying down position, and then as their strength and awareness improves, you can start to perform that in a sitting, standing, or during activity type of progression. So that way the weight and the challenge becomes increasingly harder. So let's start with the first visualization that I like to use with a Kegel, and that is having the mental image in your mind that out of your vagina is blooming a flower that has thousands of petals. So between your legs, there's going to be a flower that's exiting your vagina with lots of petals. Your job is to then pull all of those petals into your vagina. When you do this, it's important that you make sure that your rear end muscles or your glute muscles stay completely relaxed. One of the major problems when people do Kegels is they tend to want to squeeze their butt cheeks together, and this would be an incorrect strategy for activating the pelvic floor and can in fact lead to future problems within the pelvic floor. So when you do that pedal pulling, as we call it, that pulling of the petals into your vagina, you want the rest of your muscles in your body, your abdominals, your gluteus maximus, to stay relatively relaxed. You may notice that there's some increase in tension in your abdominals, and that's natural because the transverse abdominis, which is the deepest abdominal muscle, works in conjunction with the pelvic floor and the diaphragm. So you may notice some abdominal tension. As long as it's not a gripping or a crunching sensation, then that would be well within the normal qualifications of that exercise. So that visualization of pulling the petals in often works to help people feel that sensation of lifting the pelvic floor. The other visualization that I use is more applicable towards the muscles on the exterior of the vagina, and usually what I'll tell people is imagine that the external portion of your vagina is 2 elevator doors. As you pull your petals in, you're going to close the elevator doors of your vagina to help cinch that muscle around the vaginal opening. This particular exercise can be incredibly helpful for people that are experiencing incontinence when they cough, laugh, or sneeze, as those muscles assist in helping to close off the exit of the ureter. So the combination of the visualization of pulling the petals in as well as closing the elevator door will give you the most complete Kegel. Just to reinforce, you want to make sure that there's no additional motion happening in the body or in the other muscles. It should be isolated really to that base of the pelvic floor and maybe some small tension noticed in the abdominals. The reason that's so wonderful is you can do Kegels everywhere. You can do Kegels at the grocery store. You can do Kegels at a red light. I'm doing a Kegel right now, and you don't even know it because I'm keeping the rest of my body entirely relaxed. Certainly, if you have any additional questions about the proper Kegel exercise, you're welcome to email me or visit some of our other resources located on our blog as well as YouTube channel. Thanks.